Welcome to another last two, maybe first, let's see where I can get challenge. This time not a live stream, this time I took a replay because this was quite an interesting race, pretty dirty, pretty interesting. I was also part of the big mess, so yeah, I thought it's definitely worth sharing here. So let's have a look what happened. 10 laps, Monza, and starting from the last position, 20, and immediately being able to catch up on the two cars in front in the slipstream. So these cars definitely are slow in the top speed, and that's why it's probably not a good choice for Monza. Braking early for the first corner. Already you see the big mess typically happening in Monza in the first corner. But ghosting here helps a lot, otherwise I would have been already punted to the moon by the French guy behind me. In front you can see also a big pile of cars. It's a miracle that they actually were managing it through this corner, so I was actually very surprised. But if you watch this guy number 15, he just completely goes to the left, doesn't care what's happening, and afterwards going to, I don't know. The Swiss guy on the left, I don't know, it seems I touched him, although I had quite a big distance, but somehow he got a push. I don't know where this come from, but there was definitely distance between us. I got a nice push from the back, but already in number 13, so already making 7 places in the first corners, which is pretty good. So now on the long straight, in the slipstream of the British guy. But actually, yeah, I'm here. Hello, leaving me space. This one here, I wanted to go to the right, and he made there was a little bit space. I was too optimistic. He went a little bit further to the right, made it even less space there, and this was my mistake, and I pushed him out. So apologies to the guy, or to this person from South Africa, I think. Sorry for that, sorry for pushing you, that was definitely my mistake. French guy went very wide, I left him with space. I want to get inside, but it's fine. Another Porsche in front, again not a big top speed car, so should be easy to catch up here. And immediately trying to get into slipstream of the car in front of me. So it's always then the risk that you get punted in this corner, but this guy was actually braking early, so everything went well. So luckily that works, but it's often happening that you just made the corner right and then someone from behind is punting you, or just dive bombing into the corner, and then yeah, that's always the risk here when overtaking, that you get a push or a dive bomb afterwards. Another car off, number 6, turning around, Filippo, so we will see this guy later on. He is also playing a major role in this whole mess of this race. Another one left the track, including myself, so it's really starting the mess. Another one left the track, so it was really at the beginning, many people left the track, a lot of penalties. And suddenly I was on position number 4 already, second lap, position number 4. So it seemed to be a very easy race, a very straightforward one. And even there, the next one was not getting the right braking point. Surprisingly, so many people were just spinning around. And good for me, position number 3. So I was actually thinking, wow, that's an easy race. Looking to the guy in front of me, they're fighting hard. So, yeah. But here I must say, the number 2, the Spanish person, this is really a very, very fair driver. So he was doing really well. So he was, before he pushed the number 1, and he was actually waiting in the lap before to not overtake because he pushed him. So it was really, really nice. So he's really someone who looks at it. So he was braking early, not pushing, very nice. And I was making the fastest lap, and actually here you see he made space for me, which is really nice because he saw I was much faster. My fastest lap was think maybe 2 seconds faster than what they were currently doing. So he was actually giving me space, really nice. What we can't say about this Italian guy in front of me, he didn't want to give me any space. So yeah, I was not particularly happy about that. And here he didn't get the corner right. I was expecting that he's ghosted, and he was just ghosted a tenth of the second later. And here we go, a 3-second penalty because I was pushing him off the track. Yeah, if he wouldn't have been ghosted, I would have probably been pushing him on the track again, but yeah, I was expecting he's ghosted, so that's why I actually continued. Yeah, but now 3-second penalty, pretty painful at the beginning of the race when everyone is really close to each other. You see just everyone just passing by. So now number 5, number 6 is coming, but I just managed to get this corner in front of the number 6. So losing positions from number 1 back to number 5. Okay, that's fine. And you see already the madness going on in front. So I need to quickly go back here for a second, so watch what they are doing. So he's pushing the French guy out. The French guy is pushing back again. And now the Italian guy tries to push the French guy, but is ghosted. But why not doing it again? So let's try again. And I was seeing opportunity here because I was much faster. But then this happened, so I was actually being pushed on the grass, and yeah, would have been probably more clever to just stay behind those fighting guys because they would anyway kick each other out. But I was frustrated because I was so far in the back again. But actually now it's much worse. So I was pushed back to 9, almost position number 10. So the drag race with the Audi TT. But actually, the good Bugatti is pretty quick, so... And he was braking early, so another good thing, so... He was pushing me a little bit, but that's fine, so he was trying to avoid the contact, so it's not too bad, so... And the advantage is, because of that, he's far enough away so that I don't have to be afraid of any kind of dive bombing. So I can now work on getting... or moving ahead. Pretty frustrated, which is coming into my second mistake I was doing in this race. I was trying to get this corner a bit better, getting early on the power, and then I was trying to go into a gap there, which wasn't just there. So it was my mistake. I was braking, I was trying to stop before, and yeah, I was not attacking here because I didn't want to use this as an advantage. But I made this guy pretty unhappy, so as you can see he has no intention to let me pass whatsoever. But again, so I was trying to use the slipstream, and I think he calmed down a little bit, I thought, but actually he was trying to push me out, but didn't make it. So I was just overtaking him. Luckily again, he was not getting the corner right because he was trying to push me out. So good for me. Yeah. Sorry at the beginning for pushing him, but what he did afterwards, I think that was not okay. So another French guy, so I was leaving him space, and I think overtaking on the outside is almost impossible, so I need to let him go a bit, trying to actually then go behind and go into the slipstream, but didn't quite work out. So now in a position where actually just have another drag race. And was hoping he's braking early, and actually he was braking early, otherwise I would have needed to take this corner probably just behind him. I don't want to risk anything in addition here, so we have still 5 laps to go, so I didn't want to risk anything. But now that he was braking early, thank you very much. Good, back to number 6. Still some quite some way to move further to the front. So this guy Filippo is now leading, so let's see what he's then doing in the future. So he was part of this big mess which was before. French guy didn't get the exit right, so I was actually just taking his position, Needed to get this corner good, otherwise I would have risks about getting dive bombed in the next one. But was able to already make some distance, so that he was not close for being attacking, plus I was getting to the slipstream of the German guy in front. Just make sure I get the corner right, so good hitting the apex right, being early on the throttle. Had to lift a little bit, didn't get it really right, but that was good enough. I'm still in the slipstream. Car behind us still have some space, no big risk here for the dive bomb into this final corner. I was braking early, so I wanted to get the corner right, but actually then missed the apex anyway. But again, we have the Porsche. We had it already a few times. Not the quickest car on the long straight. We know that already. So I was able to take him and even have the additional speed without the slipstream now to go next to the Audi TT. So they were giving me space, and then they were starting to fight a bit in the background again. So that's good for me when they were fighting. Typically it's slowing them down. So here now again, always the risk. Will someone punt me or dive bomb into the next corner, or will they now already understand that maybe I will just pass by and go on, given that I made another fastest lap. I was pretty close, but he was at least trying to brake as hard as he can, so kudos to this guy. Thank you for not punting me. So the Spaniard going a bit wide in this corner, so I was trying to get the apex right, trying to be early on the throttle, get closer into the slipstream, and then see what I can do. Currently no big fight between them, but the number one was already part of this big fight, so expecting to get past the Spaniard more or less easy, because he was a very clean guy. So that's why I'm not too afraid. Just yeah, already 4 laps to go. No hurry here, so I really didn't want to mess it up again. I want to wait for the right situation to overtake. So they start fighting, but again, pretty fair. So the Spaniard didn't go for the move because it was have been too optimistic. He was too far behind. Quite a bit wide here, but was able to go early on the throttle and get just in front of the Spaniard and into the slipstream of the Italian guy, who actually has no interest to actually let me pass. So we've seen that before. He's definitely not a clean driver. I had to brake early, a little touch, sorry for that, and again behind. But we still have 3 laps to go, so there should be more opportunities to come here. Into the slipstream, he's defending on the left. I was not close enough, so I was braking a bit later, but then I was giving him space, because that would have been only dive bombing and pushing if I wanted to really keep this or get this position. So I gave the space and wait for the next chance. So they're fighting, slowing each other down. I was trying to get here early on the throttle, and the advantage was the Spaniard got into the back of the Italian guy. He didn't get a good exit, and that slowed both of them down. So he wanted to go for a move, but actually saw me, and again, very clean, very nice. Thank you for letting me pass, giving me the space. Italian guy was cutting the corner, getting a 1 second penalty, so overtaking him would anyway be possible somewhere. So, but now I had already a good position from the outside, knowing that he will brake late. I was braking early, trying to get the inside, and got the inside early on the throttle and made my way through it. And I was pretty sure this guy will definitely dive bomb into the last corner, so into the first corner. That was pretty obvious. And let's see what he was doing, if I was right. And he was just braking, I don't know when. Never. So at least he didn't push me, and he actually went back to 4th. So far behind. And I made it to the first position, and yeah, so I was able to get into the lead again. And the only thing is now, don't bottle it. Make sure I make some clean 2 laps, and we should be able to get it back home and get the win. The problem was here, my tires were really suffering over this race because of all this mess which happened before. So I couldn't push. I was not able to really get a lot of distance, and you can see it also on my lap times. So I was fighting before, but here still was not too bad. But I had to brake early here. Yeah, was then trying to make some gap in between. So let's move a bit forward. So making a little bit additional gap here. So Spaniak went wide over here, and I don't know what happened, but on the second place decided to quit and leave. So I made my way, now a big gap as you can see, to the number 2. Just need to make sure I just get some clean corners, no big deal. So no bottling, and yeah, I just made it with a reasonable time. And a very poor last corner into the finish on the first position. So very interesting race. And actually just one fun fact I would like to show you is this pretty clean, fair Spanish guy. So he was collecting a penalty, 1.5 seconds here. So now we can see actually what I was mentioning before. They were fighting, and he was giving this Italian guy a push. He was early on the throttle, he could have easily overtaken him, but he was staying behind, didn't go for the move and just let him go. So that was really nice. So, and you can see that also that he went here for the move. Was braking early, leaving sufficient space, trying to avoid the contact. So really very nice. So we had this 1.5 second penalty, the other guy as well. That was the dive bombing number 2, or completely crazy number 2. So let's move forward. Where I was coming. Oh, here we go. So he was collecting penalties now. So taking this corner, 1 second penalty. Taking this corner, cutting this corner, another second penalty. So just here collecting a very nice 2 second penalty. Moving on into the first corner, still having the 2 second penalty. Cutting this one a bit. And here we go, another 1.5 second penalty. But that's not everything. Just why not cutting this corner? So good idea, because this will give us another 0.5 second penalty. So he was actually able to collect 4 seconds penalty within 1 lap. So well done. So very good, fair sportsmanship, but yeah, probably not the best in getting the corners right yet. Good, that's all for this this part here. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and see you in the next video with some more action.